What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So there's a lot going on right now when it comes to Social Security. I mean, you have the Social Security Fairness Act, so people are receiving checks from that. You have the talk of this dividend stimulus that would go out, and some people on Social Security would qualify for that. You also have the elimination of taxes for people receiving Social Security benefits. Then you also have talks of cuts to Social Security. Right now you have DOJ looking into Social Security. They want to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what they're talking about now. You have a judge just ruling that DOJ cannot have some of the information that they're requesting from the Social Security Administration. And then you have the acting commissioner saying that because DOJ can't access some of this sensitive material, that he is not going to allow his staff, people who work for the Social Security Administration, he's not going to allow some of his staff to have access to the same documents. And he says he's going to let the courts decide, which this could cause delays when it comes to Social Security payments. It could also cause a temporary shutdown to Social Security, Social Security Department. So there's so much going on. But today, I'm going to do some videos talking about some of this other stuff. But right now, I want to show you this clip. And it's an interesting clip. And I'm telling you, this is going to upset some of you, but you need to see it. I think it's important for us to see what some politicians are talking about when it comes to Social Security. This happens to be the Commerce Secretary, and I just want you guys to let me know what you think about this. And so we're going to talk about that in this video, but first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, and if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you this clip, and then we'll talk about it on the other end. Here we go.
Let's say Social Security didn't send out their checks this month. My mother-in-law, who's 94, she wouldn't call and complain. She just wouldn't. She'd think something got messed up, and she'll get it next month.
Yeah.
A fraudster always makes the loudest noise, screaming, yelling, and complaining.
Okay, so I want you first in the comments to let me know, do you think that was insensitive, what he was saying? He's basically saying that in his situation, his mother-in-law, who's 94, if she didn't receive her Social Security check for the month, she would just think, oh, there must be something wrong. I'm not going to call, I'll just wait, and they'll send it the next month. But then he also went on to say that a fraudster is going to raise a fuss about that. They're going to make the noise. They're going to get out there, and they're going to be calling the Social Security Administration saying, what's going on and all this. But you have, I think it's what, 40% of people receiving Social Security benefits rely heavily on Social Security benefits. And so in a situation where you weren't able to get your Social Security benefits for the month, that could crush a lot of people. And so, yes, those people would be calling the Social Security Administration. And I don't blame them, because they wouldn't be able to pay their mortgage. They wouldn't be able to pay for food. They wouldn't be able to pay for rent. So, of course, they're going to be calling. And honestly, even if you are doing okay and Social Security is supplementing your retirement, you would probably still call, because it's probably a pretty big chunk of your retirement. And so the main reason I want to show you that is because some people look at Social Security as an entitlement, right? You hear some politicians saying that. It's an entitlement. But the reality is it's your earned benefit. You paid into it. You contributed when you were working. And now all you're asking is for them to send you your check on time. And like I said earlier, you have the acting commissioner talking about not allowing his staff to have access to sensitive information. And the only reason he is saying that is because DOJ can't get access to this same sensitive information. And so you have DOJ, which is a private entity, and then you have the Social Security employees. The acting commissioner doesn't want to allow them to have access to this documentation because the judge's ruling, and that's what he's saying, the judge's ruling was so vague, then I shouldn't be allowing my own staff to have access to this information. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And we could be looking at this scenario happening where people receiving Social Security benefits, they don't get it for the month because of the disruptions that's going on in Social Security right now. And so I'm not saying this to scare you, but I do want you to understand that you do have some people out there, some politicians, and in this case it was a Commerce Secretary, talking about Social Security as if, it's not that much money. It's just a little bit of money. So it's nothing to fuss about. When the reality is there are a lot of people that rely on it every single day, and they need it. And if it goes away for a month, they're really going to suffer as a result of it. And so I want you guys to let me know in the comments how you feel about this. And then I also want you to let me know, how do you feel about the acting commissioner saying, well, we're not going to allow our staff access to some sensitive information. They had access to it before, but he wants to withhold access now because of the judge's ruling. How do you feel about that? We could be in a situation where we really start seeing the downfall of Social Security. Social Security has been able to pay out on time since it started. But if you slowly start dismantling it, it's going to implode. Social Security will implode. They're also talking about downsizing Social Security by about 7,000 employees. And they're talking about closing some offices. And I'm going to do a separate video on the closing of offices. But what we're seeing is it looks like they're making things more difficult when it comes to the beneficiary, the people who are receiving benefits. We also heard that some beneficiaries are going to have to go to their local office to confirm their identification. And so not only are you closing Social Security offices and you're trying to downsize by 7,000 employees, getting rid of 7,000 employees, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to go, as a beneficiary, you're going to go to the Social Security office. Probably it might be further away from you now. And you're probably going to have to wait a very long time just to confirm your ID. Now, they might have ways for you to do it online, but not everyone is computer savvy. And, I grew up in an age when I was younger, we didn't have computers. And I know that sounds crazy to people who are younger than me, but we didn't start getting computers until I was around 13, 14. All through college, I didn't have a computer. We had to go, at that time, computers were available, but we had to go to a computer lab at the school to use computers. I had a word processor. I don't even know if those still exist. Basically, it's a typewriter that has a little screen on it. That's what I had. I didn't use a computer. And so you're asking people who are older than me, because I'm 53 now, so you're asking people who are older than me who probably didn't use a computer until they were in their late 20s or 30s to get online and then go through all the steps, which I've done this before. So I know there are a few different steps that you have to go through to sign up for my Social Security account, verify your identification, all of that. You're asking them to do all that. Or you're telling them, you need to go to a local office. But guess what? We're closing some of those local offices. And so right now, there's some good things that are happening when it comes to Social Security Fairness Act, like I talked about, when it comes to the talk of eliminating taxes on people receiving Social Security benefits and some of the other things that we're hearing about. But also, we're looking at a disruption in the Social Security Administration right now. And that is going to trickle down to the beneficiaries, the people who are receiving benefits. And that's why the Commerce Secretary is talking like that. Well, if we missed a month, most people will be okay, and they wouldn't raise a fuss. But the fraudsters, those are the ones that are going to be out there yelling and screaming. No, I think it's going to be the opposite. I think the fraudsters are going to say, oh, we're caught. The gig is up. And first off, I don't even think there's that many fraudsters out there when it comes to Social Security. But the people who are going to be raising the most fuss, it's going to be the people who rely on Social Security heavily. They need that money. And rightfully so, they should be out there complaining about the fact that they didn't send out these Social Security checks. And so I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below. So I have a quick update to share with you guys today. I just received an email from the Social Security Administration. The acting commissioner has responded regarding the fact that he was planning to shut down the Social Security Administration as a result of a judge's order. So there's been some clarification, so I'm going to take a look at that today. And so let me show you here the response. It's Friday, March 21st, 2025, for immediate release. And this is a statement from Acting Commissioner Dudek about temporary restraining order. And it says, today the court issued clarifying guidance about the temporary restraining order TRO related to DOJ employees and DOJ activities at the Social Security Administration. Therefore, I am not shutting down the agency. President Trump supports keeping Social Security offices open and getting the right check to the right person at the right time. SSA employees and their work will continue under the TRO. And so there's the information coming from the acting commissioner. I'm a little unsure about what was really going on, because the information that I was able to receive as far as what the judge was saying is the judge was saying, look, Doge can't have access to this information, but the employees, they were never in a situation where they couldn't have access to the information. That's the way that I read it, the judge's order. Now, the clarification came from the judge, and so this is good. So now we're not looking at a situation where we could potentially have some type of a shutdown of the Social Security Administration because they wouldn't be able to gain access. The Social Security employees wouldn't be able to gain access. So I just wanted to give you that information. I posted a video before, and I talked about the fact that this was going on. And so I wanted to give you this updated information, which changes things when it comes to the Social Security Administration. So it looks like checks will continue to go out on time, and we won't have any hangups when it comes to that. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.